Chris, is Magic right here?
I don't know what Magic's talking about. I'm sorry. With all due respect to the greatest point guard in history, if by being in the conversation, then we're saying Steph's in that, sure, okay, we've been in the conversation. But legitimate chance right now of winning the MVP? No way. Not as the 9th seed. I'm sorry. The only way Steph can really get in this conversation is if he keeps playing this way the rest of the season. So basically averaging 40 over the rest of the season, and they somehow get up to the 5th seed right behind Denver. Or maybe Denver falls to 5th and Steph gets Golden State to 6 and they're close. Maybe then. But no way is the 9th seed. Right now I got Nikola Jokic. He's 26 points a game, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 40% shooting from 3, leads the league in PER. Denver is the 4th seed. They won 3 straight without Jamal Murray. And Jokic has played every single game. So I'm going with him right now. Look, Steph is on fire. He's the greatest shooter of all time. He's the greatest small player of all time. He's playing phenomenal. But Michael Jordan averaged 37 points a game one year, didn't win MVP. Kobe Bryant averaged 35 points, scored 81 one night, 62 another night, 6 games of 50 or more points that season, and finished 4th in MVP voting because they were the 7th seed, which is better than Golden State is right now. James Harden averaged 36 and more assists and rebounds than Steph's average. Didn't win MVP. So, no, winning counts. Winning is important. It's not the only thing, but winning counts in this voting, and they just haven't won enough.
Do you want to? Go ahead, Skip.
Well, I thought you were going to go.
Because about me,
Okay, all right, I'll
Chris
go.
back on everything I said.
Okay, so that makes you right.
you go echo everything I said, too.
Yes.
Okay, to Chris's point, there are 14 games remaining.
14.
We have just seen Steph Curry produce the hottest shooting streak in the history of professional basketball. There's never been anything like what he just did for 6 games, or if you want to go 10 games through the month of April, because no one has shot from this distance, this accurately, this consistently for this span of games. But obviously, we can't be, the phrase I think I invented back in cold pizza days, prisoner of moment. We can't be prisoner of April, but we could be prisoner of April and May because, to Chris's point, if you just keep on keeping on, at some point, Shannon and I are going to have to come in here some morning and sit back and say, well, I think we got to start having this conversation.
It would help if he got into the playoffs.
It would help. And yet, Dame is out now in Portland with a hamstring. I think everybody's pulled their hamstring. I don't know. Maybe everybody's just on ice waiting for the playoffs to start. But the point is, the hardest game they had left was the Golden State was the one they just played. So could they win out? It's possible they could win out. They're on such a roll right now. If Steph stayed on this roll and they won out, and to Chris's point, you vault up to at least the 6th seed, you replace Portland as a 6th seed, yeah, I think we'd have to have this conversation because, I don't know, maybe Jokic is going to be on ice here for a few games because they're going to need to start resting him. Maybe Embiid starts resting for the rest of their games. I don't know. It's between those two. I have Embiid slightly ahead, but to Chris's point, Jokic was so huge in double overtime last night.
He was a monster.
He edged ahead in PER for the year. Embiid is so incredible from the free throw line. He is simply the greatest 7-foot or taller free throw shooter we've ever seen in the history of this league, proving it yet again last night. He shot the most free throws in the league. He's making 86% of his free throws. That's off the charts. That's in Steph territory from 3, what he's doing from the free throw line at his height and size. But the point is that I need to see more because if we look at body of work pre-April 1st, man, Steph had played 40 games before April, and he was averaging 40.9% from 3. That was on pace to be his worst three-point shooting year of his career. So you can't give me MVP off that. So now he caught fire, and he's all the way up to 43.1. Well, it's not even his career average, which is 43.4. Right now, he ranks 13th in three-point shooting in the league. Well, that's not very good, because if we're talking MVP, you're looking at Joe Ingles at 49%, and Marcus Morris is at 48.1, and Joe Harris, who can just shoot the lights out, 47.7. So there are a lot of shooters to this moment who are shooting better for the year than Steph did. So, I'm sorry, but I will give you greatest hot stretch of shooting we've ever seen, but I can't give you MVP yet.
Yeah, that's what I agree with everything you guys said. Like I said, and sometimes we get caught up because the ooh and ah factor is so great. The way he's dancing, pulling up, they're coming with the double team. He sees the double team. He lets it go from 30 before he gets there, Skip, and he swishes it. So down the stretch, 20 points. He didn't miss from 3. He missed the one free throw that would have given him 50, Chris. He's been spectacular. But damn, doesn't winning count? Doesn't it have to mean something to win the ball games?
They're a 500 team right now.
500 team. 500. And, you know, the biggest mistake baseball made is when they gave the MVP to Andre Dawson on a dead last team. Skip it. How good is this number? They can't be that good. You finished dead last. And they did that one year with Levon Hernandez, Felix Hernandez. He went to Cy Young. What a loser. Come on, man. You got at least have a winning record. Nah, I look, Steph is unbelievable.
You guys know this. Go ahead, Shannon.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying, at least have a winning record. Then we can talk. But you're the 9th seed. You need to be at least 4th or 5th. If I'm not mistaken, Chris, Russ was like, when Russ averaged that triple-double, Russ was like, what, the 4th seed? I think he was the 4th seed that year.
I think they were even lower. Look, since media started voting for the award in 1981, only twice, I believe, has anybody outside the top 3 seeds won the award. That was Moses Malone in 81 or 82, right when the media started voting.
Right.
And then Russell, because he averaged a triple-double. Had we known he was going to average a triple-double every other year, maybe he wouldn't have won either. But it was historical, so you had to give it to him. But I think, too, you brought up baseball, Shannon. Baseball is different.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, a guy can hit 420, and if he doesn't have the pitching or doesn't have hitting around him, he's not going to win. In basketball, one guy can have a much greater impact. So to your point, the winning is a huge part of this award.
Yeah. Like you're right. The reason why they started doing that because the players hated Wilt because Wilt would have won it every year, and the players used to vote for the MVP, and they hated Wilt, so they really never wanted to vote for him. Even when he averaged 50 and 25, he didn't win the MVP. But I agree with you, Chris. I just think the thing is I love what I'm seeing from Steph, and it's unbelievable. And I think sometimes, Chris, you probably go through this a lot on your social media because you say somebody doesn't deserve the MVP, you're a hater. No, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's not playing exceptionally well. I'm just saying that he hasn't put his team in position enough to win enough ball games that he should be considered the MVP at this point. Not to say we got 14 games. Now, the likelihood, Skip, of them going 14-0, I don't know if anybody's won 14 games straight this season. I don't see that happening. But if he were to somehow, by hook or crook, get to the 4th or the 5th seed, let's have a conversation. But I've had Nikola Jokic since everybody went down. As the number one, if my MVP, if I had one, he would be my guy, and he's done nothing to disappoint me since Jamal Murray went out.
You want to know the truth about Steph's year? If you look at the whole body of work, seriously, he's actually had a disappointing year until April. And April went crazy off the charts into the stratosphere. But if you look hard at all the off nights he's had 8 bad shooting nights pre-April. They should be better. Just because of him, they should be better than a 500 team.
All right, interesting. Chris, thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.